It's GT the Vibe Podcast coming to another episode. Before I get into this, please make sure you like, subscribe, and share. Gary Thompson on TikTok. I'm also on YouTube under the Vibe Podcast, which will be going through a whole new. I'm going to change some things here in the future. I just got a lot on my plate right now. I've got some work and then other business stuff, and make sure the fam is good. Make sure my friends are good. I check on my friends constantly. Um, I was I was watching TikTok this morning. This is how great this is how good the relationship I have with my friends is. Watching TikTok this morning. And I remember my homegirl, Miss Marie. I'm gonna call her Marie. She knows who she is. She used to always say, if it ain't a blessing, it's a lesson. So, and I was watching a past when he's talking about how um, you either win or you learn it. You're not winning and losing. So you either win or you learn it. It just made me think about her. Like she literally was preaching that to me at the gym when we used to go to the gym a couple years back. Uh it's crazy. God can speak through anybody. Like he literally can speak to you through anybody. You just gotta be open to hear it. And I'm It's just crazy. I just started thinking about that and put a smile on my face. And I'm like, I watched the part of the sermon that the pastor was talking about that. I'm just thinking, man, the homie said that like back in the day, and she's spitting facts. She was spitting facts. You know who you are. Keep spitting facts. Um, this one's gonna be a little longer, guys. This one is entitled "Where's My Joy." We're gonna talk today about joy in the presence of the Lord. Um, One thing from me, from my past experience, um, I might start preaching to y'all, so just be careful. One thing that in my past experience, one thing that I learned that I had gone through, um, I'd gone through periods where I didn't have no joy, and I always kind of blamed, um, either I blamed Kelly at the time, which it wasn't her fault that I didn't have joy, or I might blame the kids at the time, and I'm talking like 6, 7, 8, 9 years ago when I was going through it. Um, I blame the kids, or I might blame my job or my current circumstance, or I wanted to be in this place in life, right? So I was like, I don't have no joy because of all these things, right? It was always the problem of something else. Always put that problem off on someone else or something else. Um, but I learned you have to take responsibility for that, right? You are where you are in life because of your decisions. You have the things that you have because of your decisions, right? If you choose a spouse, that's your decision. You chose that person. So you can't blame your spouse if you don't have no joy. You can't blame your kids, right? Oh man, I chose to have kids and they stressed me out, so I have no joy. You made the choice. You made a choice to have kids. That was your decision to have kids. So you can't blame your kids because you ain't got no joy, right? The reason why you don't have no joy is your fault. You're going to learn that today. In the next 20-ish minutes, you're going to learn that the reason why there's no joy in your life is because you made decisions in your life, and those decisions weren't joyful decisions, right? Number one, do you have gratitude? Are you thankful? We'll start there before I get really deep into this thing. Do you have gratitude? Are you thankful? Most people aren't thankful. I've literally dealt with people that aren't thankful firsthand. You'll give them something or take them somewhere, and then a day later you never do this or you never do that or you've never done this or you've never done that. That happens in relationships a lot, um, where it's literally like you never do anything, even though you just did something. You never do anything. That person is not grateful. They don't have gratitude, and eventually that person is going to end up single, wishing that they would have been thankful for the things that you gave them because you gave them a lot. Sometimes you got to be on the other side of the fence to look back at the greener grass that you just left, because you thought the grass was green over here and you hop the fence and find out there's brown grass over here and all the green grass is over there where you was at. So, and one thing they say about relationships, and I'll speak about this real briefly before I really get dive deep into it, is people will leave 80% for 20% because that 20% is gold and it's shiny and it looks good, but that doesn't last long, right? The 80% is the grind, the daily things that somebody does for you in a relationship. You leave that and you out here worried about one thing. Oh, sex is good, or oh man, this person buys me stuff, little minute things like that. I'm like, yeah, if you got a person that is there with you, has your back in rooms you're not in, takes care of business with you, has been there when you had nothing, then you keep that person. You gotta have gratitude, right? That gratitude shows up in so many different realms of life, whether it be romantic relationships, whether it be at work. Have gratitude at work. Like if you hate your job, go find a job that you don't hate, right? Have so you can have build on gratitude. You're not going to build on gratitude in a situation that you chose to be in and think it's just going to change magically. It doesn't change. It doesn't change. The only thing that can change in a situation is yourself. You can change yourself. You can change you, or you can change your perspective on said situation. That's the only choice that you have. It's the only choice that you have, right? So let's talk about joy. Gratitude. Number one, you got to have gratitude, guys. How do you find joy? Where is joy at? Is joy hiding underneath the mattress? Is joy buried in the sand? Is joy a different city? Is joy a different state? Is joy a different person? Right? Ask yourself those questions, because some people think, oh, if I just change people, I'll find joy. I'm in a relationship with somebody. If I just change that person in a relationship, I'll find joy. Or, oh, if I just move, man, I just need to move to another state. I'll find joy. If I move, which I don't have no joy at Wichita. Let me move to California, somewhere in California where there's a beach at. I'll find joy, right? You'll find joy that way. I tell you, you won't. It won't last long. You'll have temporary satisfaction, is what I call it. Temporary satisfaction is what you'll find. Or I'll find joy if I buy this car. I'll get joy if I go out here and I buy this vehicle over here, then I'll have joy. That's joy right there. For me, that's joy, right? Or it could be, oh, if I buy this house, right? I don't like where I've been living at, so I'm gonna buy this house, and now I'm gonna have joy because I bought this house. Temporary satisfaction. Temporary satisfaction is joy masked in bad decisions. That's what temporary satisfaction is. Joy masked in bad decisions. So you're making a decision with the mindset that that's going to bring you joy, but it's actually a bad decision when you get down the road a little bit further, right? Because now you done bought this car and you're in debt. You lose your job 2 years later. Now you're in debt. You can't pay for it. You got to give it back. Temporary satisfaction. So don't chase temporary satisfaction that is something that's masked as joy, because it's not, right? So guys, where do you find joy? Where do you guys find joy at? In sports, man, let me go play football. I'm gonna find joy in this football game, right? Oh, let me watch football. I'm gonna find joy there. Oh, let me go play basketball with my boys. I'm gonna find joy there. Temporary satisfaction. Am I saying that those are bad things? No. Do I like playing basketball with my boys? Absolutely, positively, I surely do. Do I like to watch football? Yes, I do. I 100% do. But here's the thing: when I was joyless, right? I was watching football. I was playing basketball. I had bought a new car. I had moved to a new city. I've done all these things that I'm saying. I'm not over here trying to bash nobody else. These are things that I did myself. That I'm telling you. It's temporary satisfaction, right? It's the wrapping on a present when you open a box there's coal in it. That's essentially what temporary satisfaction is. So, there's no joy in temporary satisfaction, guys. Number 1. So you got to have gratitude, right? And you can't chase temporary satisfaction. We still haven't figured out, how do we get to joy, guys? Where's joy at? I'm trying to find it. Let me get the binoculars out and let me look across. This is 135. Let me look across 135 from way down here and see, can I see Wichita from here? Is there joy over that way? Let me look over here with my magnifying glass. Let me put a magnifying glass on. Maybe you can see joy at that point in time. Maybe you can see it then, right? Oh man, let me turn on some music. Let me turn on some music. Let me see if that is there. There's joy there, right? Seeking something in the wrong places, right? If you're seeking something in the wrong places, you'll never find it. I love playing hide and go seek, right? Love playing hide and go seek. I don't care. I'll play hide and go seek with any kids on the block. I had a friend. I play hide and go seek with their kids, and the daughter was skilled, would hide in places that wouldn't make no damn sense. Like what? Like to me, it did make, but to her, because she's small, she would hide in this place, and that made sense to her, right? So she'd hide in these places, and I wouldn't be able to find her. I wouldn't be able to find her. I'm like, where is she at? Right? I could find a brother, because brother, he'd be loud and laughing and giggling loud. You know how us dudes do. We can't hide for nothing. We can't keep our mouth shut. But she'd be quiet, and you had to literally like search for her, right? You had to search for her. But when you found her, the biggest smile ever and the biggest giggle, right? Huh. So you search far and wide. Is joy hiding from you? I don't know. It's a good question. Let's answer it. So, joy. Where do we find joy? I'm a Christian, so everything is related to Christianity for me. If you're atheist, I'm sorry. If you don't believe in Jesus Christ, I'm sorry. Um, but I do. So one thing that I had to learn in my life. So like I said, I bought the car. I moved to the different city. I blamed my relationship partner. I blamed my kids. I blamed everything under the sun, right? But I didn't blame myself until I did. Until I did. So the day came, I blamed myself. I'm like, dude, it's my fault that I don't have joy. I walk around grumpy as hell, mad at the world, like everything is going wrong, when actually a lot of things are going right. Like, never had been jobless, never wasn't able to pay the bills, never homeless, never accrued super amounts of debt. None of that. So I didn't, no medical issues. Nothing ever happened medically to anyone. Let me find some wood. I need to knock on some wood. Jesus, please knock on wood for me. I'm not near wood right now. Um, but seriously, never had anything. And I'm like, other people have had medical issues and disasters that they've gone through. They've lost this, they lost their job, they lost a spouse, whatever it may be. None of that happened to me. So why didn't I have joy? Where was my joy at? That's a good question. That's a good question. It wasn't hiding from me. It wasn't a change, some just spontaneous change. Um, it was none of it was none of those things. None of those things that we just spoke of was none of them, right? And according to number one, my joy had to come from the way that I loved. Let's start there. As we go deeper, you guys are going to see a picture. Galatians 5:22-23. Joy is listed as one of the nine fruits of the spirit. It's listed in Galatians as one of the fruits of the spirit. So out of the nine fruits of the spirit, joy is on there. Huh. Interesting. So dang, so joy has something to do with me. So it's not hiding from me. It's not underneath something. I don't have to go seek it somewhere. I don't have to go put the binoculars on. I don't have to change location to get it. I don't have to change partners. I don't have to change kids. I don't have to go buy something to get joy. I don't have to do none of that stuff. It's in the way that I loved. So maybe I wasn't loving right. Huh. Interesting. Let's dive into it. So if joy is in the way that you love, what can't you do? What is one thing that it says love is not in the Bible? Envious, right? Dang. So am I envious because I want all this extra stuff? Absolutely, positively, I was 100%. So I love based on status or what I can get, right? What can you get? Are we, can I buy this? Can our relationship look like this? Oh man, I'm jealous of that person's relationship. That's envy, right? You can't love on the basis and premises of envy. You can't do it. So maybe I wasn't loving right. Huh. I don't think I was. So number one, to get joy, you have to learn how to love correctly. You have to learn how to love correctly because joy is within that. When you love somebody, joy is within that love. What's the second way? What's the second thing? What's the second way to get joy? Where does joy come from? Let me ask you guys that. Where do you think joy comes from? Where do you think joy comes from? Joy is a constant state of being, right? It's a constant state of being, but where does it come from? Where does joy come from? True joy is a gift from God. True joy, not temporary satisfaction. True joy is a gift from God. So you find true joy in God's presence. How do we get into God's presence? Is it through a friend? Is it through a pastor at a church? Is it through your mom or your dad? Is it through your spouse? No. To get in the presence of God, you have to go through the Son, Jesus Christ. So why is there a lack of joy in Christianity? It's a great question. I'm glad you guys asked me that. Because most people aren't connected to God like they say they are. If you're connected to religion or the institution of religion, you're not going to find joy. If you're connected to, it doesn't say that you get to God through the pastor. It doesn't say that. That's not biblical, right? It doesn't say you get to God through your mom. It doesn't say you get to God through your friend. That's not what it says in the Bible. Through Jesus Christ, right? That's how you get in the presence of God. So, in order for you to have true, sustaining, lasting joy, you have to be in the presence of God. And you need to through faith, right? In his presence through faith. So you not only do you have to you have gratitude. You gotta have gratitude. You gotta be okay with what you have. You gotta love correctly. Change how you love. Get in the presence of God and have faith. You have to have faith. In order for you to get the joy, you have to have faith that the joy actually exists. And let me tell you something about joy, guys. It is when you find it in God, nobody can take it away from you, right? If you find joy in man, my mom always told me that. If you find happiness and joy and peace in man, you got to go back there when you run out. And she's like, the thing about going back there when you run out is what if that person's gone now? Then where do you go back to? You go back to nothing. But if you find peace and joy and love in God, you don't have to go anywhere to get it, right? In his presence. Clearly, joy is in his presence. So if you lack joy as a believer, you're probably not actually in his presence. Just because you say you're in his presence, just because you go to church or just because you go to Bible study, you can do all these things and still not be in the presence of God. So if you don't have joy, I implore you to examine your relationship with God. I implore you to examine your relationship with yourself. With yourself. Because I think love starts with loving you. If you can't love yourself properly, you can't love somebody else properly. And joy is within love. So I gave you guys four pieces today, and love is one of them. So you have to learn how to love in order to have joy. Do you love yourself? Number one. Do you know how to love others? Number two. Number three, do you know what love actually is? In order for you to be able to give it and receive it, you have to know what it is, what it looks like, right? You ever ordered food and you got the wrong food, right? The only way that you knew that you got the wrong food is because you knew what the food looked like. You know what it's like. If you ordered a cheese pizza and they send you a pepperoni pizza, you only knew that it was the wrong pizza because you know the difference between a cheese and a pepperoni pizza. So what if you didn't? What if you ordered a double cheeseburger and you said, "Hey, I want a double cheeseburger, but I want it regular." What if they seasoned it extra and you didn't know the difference? By looking at it, you did not know that they seasoned it extra, right? What if they overcooked it a little bit? By looking at it, you may not be able to see that they overcooked it, right? You have to know the difference between the two. So there is some wisdom and knowledge behind your ability to love because you have to know what love is in order to give it, right? I can't just give something I don't know what it is. So joy is found in the presence of God. So in order for us to have it and have true abundance and the levels of joy that you want in your life where it never fades, get in the presence of God. Let me tell you how I did it real quick before I get out of here. I learned that I was not loving right. I still got to work on loving right because I still don't. I'm still learning. I'm still processing how to do it, and how to get it right. I had to understand what love is and what it's not. I had to understand that in order for me to have joy and peace in my life, I had to get in the presence of God, right? So that's what the heck I did. And so through the last 9 months of change, which God started telling me that there was going to be a change in my life last, I want to say May. It was like sometime in May, like I think it was like the beginning of May. It might have been late April, early May, somewhere in that time frame. I changed drastically. God said, there's going to be some changes. I'm about to make some moves. I need you to start preparing yourself. And so I started preparing myself. Um, I had to change my mindset. I had to pray more. I had to start reading the Bible more. I had to get more in tune with the Word. I had to start having conversations with people that were hard and tough. I had to allow Him to close whatever door He wanted to close. I had to literally release it all to Him. And He took away things. He'll take away things and people out your life that you don't want him to, or that you have an attachment to, right? And then you have to work to sever the attachment, right? So you don't have the attachment no more. So you can keep moving because you can't move forward looking backwards. You can't look back and be like, well, I'm moving in the right direction. You don't know where you're going, right? There's a reason why the windshield is bigger than the rear because you need to be paying attention to what's in front of you. And that's part of gaining wisdom and knowledge and understanding. You have to keep moving forward. I had to keep moving forward. And so as I continue to move forward, yes, there's pain. Yes, there's going to be struggle. And there's going to be triumph. There's going to be all that. There's going to be times that suck and there's going to be times that don't suck. But what I realize is that as long as I'm in the presence of God, I will have joy in all circumstance. I will have gratitude in all circumstances, no matter what circumstance that He puts me in, because He's there with me. I will have joy and gratitude. As I look out, it's kind of like I'm staying close to the highway, so like there's like open field. And as I was talking to you guys about looking for joy, like I was literally about to grab some binoculars out, and like look across, and maybe I would see joy in the tree line over there. That's how we act like joy is. We act like joy is this like hidden thing. Joy is literally easy to attain, but you have to train yourself on how to attain it. You have to rewire your mind and your mindset on how to attain it. And you don't want to put that in the hands of man. I can tell you that right now. You don't want to put that in the hands of nobody else, no other person. I wouldn't want nobody to put that in my hands. Don't put your joy on me because you're going to be thoroughly disappointed because I can't give you that. I know I can't give you that. I know 100% I could give it. But what I could give you is love. And in order for me to give you love, number one, I have to have joy. If you have no joy, you can't properly love somebody, right? So you have to find that joy in order for you to properly love. And then when you properly love, you may lead them to find joy. You may lead your friends to find joy. You may lead your kids to find joy. You may lead your spouse to find joy. You may lead your dad or your mom to find joy because you found joy and you added it to love. And you realize that I can't love somebody if I have no joy. So I implore you guys as Christians out there, if you don't have joy in your life, examine your relationship with God. Examine your relationship. Are you in relation with religion or are you in relation with God? Ask yourself that question. Pray all day, every day. I'll praise Him anywhere. I don't care. I'll praise Him in front of atheists. I don't really care. I'm gonna praise Him anywhere. I made that promise to Him when He made the changes in my life that He needed to make. I trusted the process, and He gave me literally everything I could possibly ask for. Like I comfortable. And when I say comfortable, like comfortable. Like I don't have to worry about financial stuff anymore. I don't have to worry about the stress of because let me tell you, being a cop, you got to worry about people who are watching every single move you make. I don't have to worry about that. When I say freedom, like I'm free to be the person that I'm supposed to be. I don't have to put on a uniform. I don't have to do nothing crazy. I don't have to worry about somebody wanting to shoot me or nothing like that. He brought me out of that lifestyle. I loved it. I still have brothers and sisters who wear the uniform. I will pray for them every single day that God will keep bringing them home because I know how it gets out there. Oh, I know. Got to watch your back, and I can see the political climate starting to change back to a negative light. Again, I can see it. So I will continue prayer for them, right? But God brought me out of that lifestyle, put me into a new one, and said, hey, this is what I need you to do. I trust the process. I hope you guys trust the process too, guys. I'm sorry to get preachy with you, but this is something that was on my heart. It just, I don't know why, watching that TikTok this morning and then messaging uh, my homegirl, you know, if it ain't a blessing, it's a lesson. And what I learned in life is that everything in life is either a blessing or a lesson. And so I've learned a lot of lessons and I've had a lot of blessings, but I'm going to continue to be blessed. And I hope you guys do too. It's GT the Vibe Podcast. So please make sure you like, subscribe, and share. I'll see you on the next one. I'm out.